Well, it's Wednesday and time for Financial Insights with Lord's Financial Planning, and founder Jim Lord is joining us. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Aaron.
Well, 2020 has been quite the year for the stock market, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how could I have prepared better for this?
Well, Aaron, there's really no way to prepare for everything, and we certainly can't predict what the market's going to do. Even the experts don't know what it's going to do. It's going to kind of do what it's going to do based upon what events are happening. And, you know, who would have known that we'd have this coronavirus to deal with back in January?
Right. Who would have guessed? But are there steps that we could have been taking to help mitigate this?
Well, I think, of course, the first thing is to have a well-written financial plan and to be reviewing it on a consistent basis. And so that's number one. Number two, I think, is to know your risk tolerance.
Well, we've talked about that in the past, risk tolerance. So remind us, what does that mean?
Well, really, risk tolerance is knowing what you can tolerate in the way of loss versus what you're hoping to get in the way of gain. Sometimes I refer to it as, you know, when you can't sleep at night because of your risk, that would be too high a risk tolerance. So that's the first place to begin, Aaron.
Well, what about being diversified? Would that help in a market like this one?
It does. And I think, you know, diversification is always best. You never want to have all your eggs in one basket, as they say. But you want to have multiple holdings. But you need to remember, just because you have multiple holdings doesn't necessarily mean that you're diversified. You could be overweighted in one area.
Overweighted? What does that mean?
Well, what that means in investment terms is you might have multiple holdings. But when we analyze it, we might find that you're all tilted towards one particular segment or one particular stock. And so then we would call that overweighted.
And how do I know if I'm overweighted?
Well, the best thing to do is to have a professional perform a portfolio review analysis. And that's something that we provide for our clients and prospective clients at no charge. That's going to tell us whether or not you're overweighted. It's going to tell us how your investments are positioned and if they match up to your risk tolerance. So it's very important to do that, Aaron.
Okay, so just give Lord's Financial Planning a call there and set up a first appointment.
Big excellent, yes.
Okay, very insightful, Jim. Thank you as always. And remember, if it is Wednesday, it's time for Financial Insights with Lord's Financial Planning.